WMAZ weather, sponsored by Bucky Holland Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
All right, continuing to track some snow showers that are creeping into north central Georgia here just past the 9 a.m. hour. As far as our 4 sky cams go, we're still not getting a sign of even the slightest bit of some snow flurries, but I can imagine that downtown Macon sky cam probably going to change here very shortly if we can see one of these bands of snow move farther down directly to the south. As far as your temperatures go, they look far too warm for anything of the snow variety. However, as the snow does begin to move in, the numbers are forecasted to drop. And right now, Jasper County, Monticello sitting at 31 degrees. That's going to be an area to look out for because it does look like that is one of our first reported areas of starting to see a couple of flurries here this morning. Winds and wind gusts, they are already very gusty. And what if I told you that they're only going to get gustier as we go into this afternoon? I'm talking about possible gusts up to 35, maybe even 40 miles per hour, and we still are going to hold on to a breeze very similar to the one we currently have as we go into tomorrow morning, and that's going to be the second part of your weather impact alert, a blistering cold start to tomorrow morning. So here's your satellite and radar picture where we finally start to see some color within some of the satellite imagery showing the cloud cover creeping in. This cluster of some light blue right now across Jasper into Putnam County. In fact, the Putnam County EMA director did just report starting to see some flurries in downtown Eatonton. And this is just the leading edge of a band of snow that is very heavy back up in between the I-85 and the I-20 corridors. All of this darker blue shade is going to indicate some heavy snowfall showers. And we're actually starting to see the snow pick up in the metro Atlanta area, Midtown over to the west of Atlanta. And that band of snow is a little bit lighter than what we see up to the north of us directly, but it is forecasted to creep into our westernmost counties and send us a couple of flurry showers. But once again, it's going to be a bit of a lighter band of snow. And taking a look at Future View, which in fact it actually looks like we got a new model run in right now, it shows a couple of flurries popping up near the Macon area over the next hour or so. But that's about all we're looking at really for areas like Macon, maybe down to Warner Robins, just a couple of flurries. To the east and the northeast here in central Georgia, that is where we continue to have the most confidence in the bulk of the snow continuing to fall. That's where you'll see the highest accumulation, but that's also where you're going to have more drastic impacts in the way of hazardous travel and of course maybe some slick conditions that may stay on the roads into tomorrow morning. But we will clear out overnight and into tomorrow afternoon. Plenty of sunshine will hopefully lead to a lot of melting with anything that is still frozen at the surface. So this is kind of a rough drawing indicating that the totals up to 1 to maybe even 3 inches of snow will be found to the northeast here in central Georgia. Most areas like Macon, Warner Robins, Cochran, all the way down to Eastman, you're really just looking at a couple of flurries at the most and really not much accumulation whatsoever. But this goes hand in hand with our winter storm warning and our winter weather advisory that is issued for many counties here in central Georgia. Meteorologist Ansley Parker joins me to break down that.
Right, Alex. I mean, that graphic does a great job showing what the expectation is in terms of accumulation and totals, and it's right in line with the National Weather Service's thinking as well, which is why half of our area is in this winter storm warning. That's the area that you see in pink. The other half of the area is in the winter weather advisory. That's the area that you see in purple. So the difference between the two of those things is the difference in accumulation amounts. So in the pink, the counties that are outlined in the winter storm warning, they're expected to have some higher snowfall accumulations between 1 inch to 3 inches. The areas in purple, the counties that are outlined in the advisory, they're still going to see some snowfall through the rest of the day today, but we're talking more trace amounts that could get in the highest spots up to around 1 inch. But overall, the accumulation is not going to be quite as great as what we see in the warning area. And actually, as we start to see this move into our area, it's kind of got a lot to do with what's going on with the winds at the moment. So when we look across just our area right now, you can see we have some winds that are coming in from the northwest, but we also have some winds that are coming in from the northeast. Now notice, as we start to see these snowfall setting up across our area right now and moving into northeastern portions of central Georgia, it's right along that boundary line of where these winds are converging. So that is going to be the area where we see some heavier snowfall totals. As we look out towards the north and to the west, you see that outside of that convergence zone, we do have some light flurries, but this is obviously the area where we're seeing higher snowfall totals. So that will be the trend as this pushes further into our area as well. And we will kind of see these converging winds be the driving factor for areas that receive heavier snowfall. So that's what's going on in terms of the snowfall as it moves into our northeastern counties at the moment. But it's not the only thing that we have to talk about for the rest of today as well. Temperatures, though they may seem like a secondary story today, are actually just as important. Our entire area is in an extreme cold warning for the rest of today and into the day on Sunday. We've got really strong winds out there, which we just talked about, but that's having the wind chills really low. So the actual temperatures right now are somewhere in the 30s, but the wind chills are already down in the 20s, and that only gets worse as we head into the rest of the day. Overnight tonight, we're talking wind chills that are down in the single digits and near 0 degrees. So wind gusts this afternoon up to around 35 miles an hour, if not over in some places, and that continues all the way into this evening. Now, as we head overnight tonight into early Sunday morning, as these winds are going to back off a touch, but not a lot. We're going to still have wind gusts up to around 25 miles an hour early tomorrow morning into the afternoon and then all the way into the evening as well. So that's going to play a big role in terms of how things feel. This afternoon and evening will feel like the teens, which we've done before, but then as we head into the late night and overnight hours tonight, we are going to feel like the single digits as you get ready to kick off early Sunday morning. So temperatures still going to be very important for the entire area as we go throughout the rest of the day today. But of course, we'll keep tracking that snowfall as we go throughout the rest of the morning. Stay with us. We're back after this.